Hi, Ernie with you with Mi2Sense, and congratulations to the Philadelphia Eagles and their fan base for that beatdown that they gave the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl. My daughter, she's a big Philadelphia Eagle fan, so she celebrates like crazy. But anyways, kudos. That was a big time beatdown too. Those four brothers was beating Patrick Mahomes, and they were probably saying, "You ain't from the hood, my man." Now, this was the blackest Super Bowl I ever saw. I seen all the Super Bowls. This is the blackest one I ever saw. Not just because it was two black quarterbacks, or some will say one and a half. This is the second time that they met. They met 2 years ago. But the whole thing, from the black national anthem being sung by Lettucey to the national anthem being sung by John Batiste. Of course, the Super Bowl kicked off, ensued, halftime came about, game was already over by then. They shut them down like you shut a water faucet down, and not even a drip of water was coming out. They let them score at the end of the game, but you had the person they call K-Dot, Kendrick Lamar, as the halftime performer. Now, let me put a little context. I used to be one of the baddest club DJs in the Hartford, Connecticut area from 79 to roughly 88. Self-taught, by the way. Totally natural, but I was. And when the hip-hop music started coming, and it started coming fast and furious, and the lyrics that were in the songs, I was not in agreement with. So I had to make a decision. Do I continue on and perpetrate something that I'm really not, or let those who know that best do it? And that's what I did, because I DJ'd for fun since I self-taught and everything else. I was just a total natural. I was a badass motherfucker, though. And listen, I also did radio, too. I'm quite sure some of you probably might have figured it out based on my voice, how I use it, and everything else, how I project. Yeah, I could run a mean quiet storm. I've done radio. Now, my name is Ernest Johnson, Jr. I never said I'm DJ this, DJ. I just shortened my name to Ernie J. That's my screen name here. Everywhere, on all my social media is Ernie J. I ain't changing shit. I am who I am. But anyway, and I do have my own internet radio station, by the way. Now, I have done radio, but I have my own internet radio station. It's WEJR, run on the Radio King platform and the Live 365. I play music from the 60s to 2004. Anything newer than that, I'm not playing. I stay in my lane. I'm good. I'm good at what I do. So I just leave it there. I ain't got to stretch out, do nothing. I'm cool. I say that because a lot of lyrical content that come out in hip-hop I don't understand, because I'm not in that generation. My generation, we had our own coded words and stuff like that. This generation has different coded words. And I figured that he was going to have some messages in there, because he's known for that song, They Not Like Us, which is the only song I know by the man. So I'm admitting some truths, okay? So, of course, he performed, and the first thing I picked up on, he had all black dancers who dressed in red, white, and blue. Not the red, white, and blue, of course, the color of the flag. All black dancers, that's not the first time, because Beyonce had all black dancers in her halftime performance when the Houston Texans played on Christmas Day. That was nothing new. But I figured it was going to be some messages, because if he's saying they not like us, then he plans on giving some messages. Will I be able to pick up on it? Probably not. I probably need it explained to me, because I'm not from that generation, and don't really, I'm not into that genre of music as I would normally be when I was in my heyday. But he had Serena Williams out there. She was doing the crip walk. Now, I figure, I know that Serena and Drake used to have a thing. And Kendrick and Drake, they're having this little war going on. So I figure, maybe maybe some people might think, to diss Drake on that, but I took it as she's from Compton, he's from Compton, brother, sister, they support each other, There you go. Okay. Now, when SZA came out, now it's halftime, and I had a few drinks, a few puffs. And I'm looking at her. I'm like, "Is that Brandy?" That's the first thing I thought about. Until somebody told me that was SZA. I was like, "Who's SZA?" Shows you how naive I am. I'm not into that genre of music. Now, I may have heard their music and so forth, but never recognized the artist. She was great, though. Okay. But when I realized that he was sending some deep messages when he said 40 acres and a mule is bigger than the music. I said, "You damn right it is." But what really opened my eyes real wide was when he said the revolution is about to be televised and you picked the right time and the wrong guy. I was like, oh, snap. Now he's saying something. I wonder what else he was saying. Now, the other thing I didn't pick up on was, why was Samuel L. Jackson acting like Uncle Sam? And so I don't have knee-jerk reactions. I always like to find out stuff. And if I don't know it, I got to go to a source that would know it. And who knows it better than the people from that generation? My children, my grandchildren. They know it. But I figured, let me go on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and find out what the young people are saying. It was a lot of messages in there, apparently. They said he gave a master class in messages. They said that it was an intellectual labor on display. Intellectual labor on display. So it was a lot of messages on there. I didn't know about them being out in the yard like they do in jail. I didn't know they were depicting that. See, I was high. I was just looking at the performance. That's where I was. But when I started reading that stuff all the way through this morning, I was like, damn. So Samuel Jackson, he was actually depicting the United States. Because I didn't understand when he said that was too ghetto until the United States, they say that things that we do are just too ghetto. That's what they do. Listen, it's Black History Month. So it was great to see blackness on display. The messages that were sent by Kendrick Lamar, which is far and wide. I mean, there's a lot of messages in the, and some young lady, she just broke that shit down bit by bit. I was like, that's just too much for me to write down. I can't remember that shit either. I'm 67 years old. My memory don't retain as much as it used to, And I know I can get long-winded. I know that's what happens to me when I do these TikTok videos. But anyway, I just figure I'd lay out what I thought. And kudos once again to the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, let's face it, a black quarterback won the MVP. Not a person who has come from a mixed couple, and nothing wrong with that. I have 3 mixed granddaughters myself, and nothing wrong with that. But the brothers who's on that front line, I just have to say this, they beat him, and they probably looked at him and said, bruh, you ain't from the hood. That was a fucking beat down. I never seen shit like that in the Super Bowl. Now with 4 dudes just fucking him up. I mean, they were just fucking him up. Anyway, enough of that, enough of this, and so forth. I'm quite sure you say enough of you, Ernie. I just gave you my 2 cents. Until the next time I talk with you folks again, you all take care. Hold your head up high, spread joy, and love one another. And bask in victory, because that's what we're about to do. Be victorious. Ciao for now.